and I'm Marcy Farrell from ThankfulHomemaker.com, and I'm so glad you're with me today. I have a very practical and I consider it a fun episode today. It's called Getting Ready for Company Fast, and we're going to deal with not just our home, but also our hearts a bit. So, as I'm recording this, Thanksgiving and Christmas are coming up. But this is really an episode that works any time of year. It can work in getting ready for, having some friends over, but also it's really a quick method I love to use to bless my own family that maybe my week has been kind of chaotic and I've not gotten to my normal cleaning schedule, and this is a way for me to freshen up really quick. So I think you'll find it pretty useful. Pretty simple things. I think you'll like my little 10-step program, and again, I want to get a bit into our hearts too, because my reminder always is that when we're in Christ, there's no separation between the secular and sacred. All is sacred, even cleaning our homes, all right? So this method has worked well for me many years. I appreciate even just being able to make my own family feel comfortable and well cared for, along with those that I'm having and showing hospitality to. So again, I'll use this as an occasional quick clean for my own family and for company too. And I have some favorite cheats that I use in daily keeping my house looking cleaner than it really is. No one knows. Here's the other reality. No one knows or notices the dust in your house or if it hasn't been vacuumed a bit. You have to remember this, friends. How often do you visit a friend and think, when was the last time she ran a vacuum? You don't, because you just enjoy being with your friend and you don't even notice the condition of her home. But on the other hand, you don't want to get so relaxed in your cleaning that people are afraid to sit on your furniture. That's not a good place to be. So I love this list that I'm going to go through with you, because some weeks for me are just really busy. And like I said, I don't get to my normal cleaning task that week, but this quick kind of clean just freshens things up a bit and gives me a good base. So getting ready to open our homes to others, in whether it's this upcoming holiday season you're getting ready for, or just day-to-day company that you're having over, it should be a joy and a delight, not a burden of having so much to do that you miss having the heart of a servant and preparing for your guests. So this isn't a video on biblical hospitality necessarily, but that's part of it. But I want to take just a quick little break here to say a few words on it, so our hearts are focused rightly as we're getting ready to host others in our homes. A while back, I read The Life-Giving Table by Sally Clarkson, and her words were on my mind as I'm sharing this episode with you. She reminded us of the true meaning of the word hospitality, and hospitality comes from the same root word as hospital or hospice or hotel. So behind the word is the idea that hospitality seeks to provide for, protect, and care for that person who stays in your home. Hospitality is really committing to caring for the emotional, physical, spiritual needs of someone as long as they are in your home. So I'm going to link to a couple of posts, too, on family dinners and one on biblical hospitality that I have. I'll link it in the video notes. But when we practice hospitality, we have the opportunity to touch lives in an intimate, personal way. God's going to give you love and wisdom needed to open your home to others. So ask Him, pray about that, and who you are to reach out to and have over. Plan it with your husband. So with a little planning and preparation and much prayer, you can be prepared to share your home with friends, neighbors, even the strangers that God may send your way. So I want to encourage you to take your time to include your children in preparing for guests. This is good for them. Assign them different tasks that they can help when next time you're getting ready for company. You can even have a list together if you're not really good. I'm not a good delegator, so sometimes when I'm having a get-together and maybe I have friends that are coming over to help me, or we're preparing something big for a church event, I'm good to try to be intentional to make a list of what I could have other people help me with. You could do that same thing with your kids, just thinking through that. And as I'm sharing these tips below as I get to it, I want you to hold fast to this reminder that the biblical definition of hospitality is to love strangers and meet the needs of others. So when we remember this definition, we are no longer just Christian Martha Stewarts. That's not what we're trying to do here. But we're reminded that practicing true biblical hospitality and all it entails is simply love in action. A perfect home is not commanded in the scriptures, just an open home. And I love the term visitors or friends instead of company, because when I see the word company, I think of entertaining. And I know I titled it that, but it's more for the people finding it online. So that's really why the word company is there. But I love visitors or friends. That's a better way. And the big one, when your heart is focused on the eternal rather than the temporal, it's going to make your time with others want to freely and joyfully being able to open up your home. So my list of things to prepare beforehand for visitors is really kind of shortened. It's really cut down to what's necessary. When we're preparing to have visitors over, I don't really clean deeply before they come. I know that like shocks people, but I don't. It's pointless because there's going to be bathrooms and floors that need to be cleaned after people leave, especially depending on the amount of people you have over. And so I really just give my home a quick clean and tidy before they arrive. And that's what I'm going to work through here with you today quickly. I also want to state that it helps me a lot by having a regular cleaning schedule. And I'm going to link to that one below too. It just helps me to keep basic order in my home. Another big one that I was thinking of as I was getting ready to record this, because we're having some friends this Saturday, but is keeping favorite menus that I'm comfortable at making is a huge help when I plan get-togethers. And since I'm mentioning menu planning and meals, I'm going to link to my meal planning course because it's super helpful and it's going to simplify even your meal prepping for guests. I have some areas in it to do this. And as I said, as I'm recording this, we've had a busy few weeks with people over, and I'm getting ready to have friends over this Saturday. And I'm making one of my favorite company meals. I have this rotation of meals that I like to make for company. They're ones that I know work well. They're ones that are easy to put together. I'm pretty comfortable and confident in cooking them. That's a big help. I don't go trying out new fancy things for company. And cleanup is easy. That's my other big one. I personally like to pick meals where I can do most of my prep work ahead of time, so I don't have a big mess at mealtime, that my cleanup is easy. And that way I'm not spending time in the kitchen, but I can sit and visit too. And I know a lot of times, and it's a good thing, a lot of times your friends would like to help you clean up. Sometimes I'm good to do that. Sometimes I love to just set the dishes aside and visit and clean up after they leave. There's no right or wrong there. You can do it whatever you're most comfortable. And sometimes the Lord leads you to clean up. Maybe I've got another couple over and the husbands go to talk and I'm in the kitchen with the wife and she's very desiring to help me clean up, or it's a good friend, and then that's really easy to do. And I'll just do that because we're communicating and working and talking as we're cleaning. And I think sometimes some of the best conversations come when we're working and serving alongside one another. So there's no right or wrong there. But okay, let me get to this, because you're like, okay, Marcy, get to the cleaning method. And I'm getting there. So again, we used to host church family in our home for many years, quite a while back, before we moved to a rented school building. And every week we would have a pretty big crowd of people here. And then again, during the week, we would have midweek services. So I learned pretty quick, and my kids learned too, because they were my best helpers. I miss them because they're not here anymore. They're adults, so they've moved on, but I miss them. They were huge helpers. But I learned pretty quick how to get my home ready for guests in a moment's notice. So my supplies are really basic. I use simple things like microfiber rags. Feather duster's my best friend for this. Maybe a bottle of window cleaner or all-purpose cleaner to have on hand if you need it. I also like the Norwex window cleaning rags, your vacuum cleaner, paper towels. If you use paper towels, I'm a paper towel girl at times, and a simple mop. I use my Shemop. That's my favorite. I'll link to some of my favorite cleaning supplies too for you. But so here's my top 10 items. Really, there's 8, but it sounded really odd, so I stretched it a little bit. So there's really only 8 items, but I'm going to call it my top 10. So number 1, tidy. Really simple. Tidy the rooms just that you're going to be in. You're probably not going to take people for a tour of your home, so you don't have to tidy everything. But for me, it's usually the family room. So I'll straighten it up. I'll fluff pillows. I'll pick up items that don't belong in that room. I'll just tidy up the coffee tables. I like to make sure I have my coasters out. I'm a light dimmer. My husband is so good to me. He has dimmers on like almost every light in my house. So I'll dim the lights a little bit. It's so good. And actually, it's so nice to have people over when it's cloudy or it's dark out, right? Because that sun doesn't come in and you can't see all that dust that you didn't get to. Number 2, feather dust or use a microfiber rag and just spot wipe any areas, things like fingerprints that you notice around your main traffic areas, kind of the main rooms you're going to be in. If you see fingerprints on a mirror, just clean them, not the whole mirror. Just feather dust quickly what needs. If that makes you feel good, give it a tidy, you're done. I'm talking, this takes minutes. This is no time at all. Number 3, vacuum the traffic areas of the rooms you're going to be using. You don't have to, this is not the time to give it a deep clean vacuum. Just vacuum the main areas. Number 4, and this is the kitchen area, and this probably takes me the most time. Make sure you've washed all the dishes and dried them, that you don't have dishes in the sink or things left. And if you've had time, with your cooking that you could do it some ahead of time, I like to clean up all my dishes, and I like to, I'll kind of wipe down my counters and stuff, and then just kind of take that dish towel that I've just maybe finished wiping dishes, and I'll wipe off like the appliance fronts and the handles, and I'll tidy the countertop. Really simple. If you need more countertop space, think about moving items to another room for the evening. We always would end up moving our toaster on the counter because it's a great area that I can set up beverages. So I would move it so frequently that I just decided I just need to move this baby. And I put it away and we just bring it out when we need it. But I put it in the pantry permanently for now. So give the kitchen floor a quick vacuum. Again, just in the main areas. And then you can spot mop the floor. And spot mop means just take a mop where it's needed. The Shamop is my favorite tool. It's my all-time favorite. And it's a great little mopping tool. And I'm going to move and I'm going to get it for you so I can show you this really quick. So I use, it's this method. It's squirt and mop, and I'm hoping you can see that. I'm not looking at I can't see my camera, my video, so I'm hoping you can see that. But I use this method, squirt and mop, and then this is my Shamop, okay? So it's just got like a terry cloth head on it. So what you do is with the Shamop is you take, the head comes off, and I just literally wet this under the sink and wring it out really good. And then I put it over my mop head, just like that. You're going to put it back. I'm not going to do it because it's going to take me. You put it back over, and then I'm just going to use my squirt and mop and squirt it on the floor and take my mop over it. And when I'm having company or quick during the week, I just do my main areas. Like my areas that get the most traffic are right in front of my kitchen sink and usually in front of my stove. I may take it in my foyer quickly by the front door, maybe where people are going to come in. And then sometimes I'll take it in the bathroom. I know I'm going to get to the bathroom here in one of my steps, but sometimes after I'm all done, I'll take it in the bathroom and just go around the toilet with it and in the main floor area. So again, I don't do the whole floor when I'm having company. I just spot the areas that need it. If you don't need a mop, you could just take a microfiber rag and just dampen it and wipe the areas on the floor. So, okay, that's kind of our mop. So then I've tidied my counter. I've done the dishes. I'm going to, I like to make sure my dishwasher is run and empty before company. So I may run it earlier in the day and empty it. So I have a ready to go dishwasher for when people are here. I'll hang up a fresh dish towel. I'll do simple things like make sure my kitchen garbage can is empty and there's clean bags in the bottom if I'm going to need to empty it a little more so I can have a quick garbage bag change. So that's all in my kitchen area. So let me reiterate this. Let me go through it. So number 1, you're going to tidy the rooms you're going to be in. Number 2, you're going to give it a quick feather dust. Number 3, you're going to just deal with vacuuming the traffic areas of the floors. Number 4, you're going to deal with your kitchen. So you're going to do your dishes, run your dishwasher, put a fresh dish towel out, mop the floors, just wipe the appliance fronts down with your dish towel that's probably damp from doing dishes. Really simple. And make sure your garbage can is ready to go. Okay, number 5, we're coming to the guest bathroom. I have a post that's called a 5-minute daily bathroom tidy. And this is basically what I'm doing with you here. All you're going to do is you're going to wipe down the mirror and the counter with window cleaner and a microfiber rag or paper towels. If you use paper towels, just use your favorite spray cleaner and whatever that may be and do that really fast. And again, you don't have to do the whole thing. You can just get the spots where the water is and the spot on the mirror. I know I'm cheating, but why clean what's not dirty? I guess that's where I kind of come with it. And then the toilet, put your toilet cleaner in, swish it. And then this is my favorite sheet. You do not have to do this. However you clean your toilet. But I like to take a little bit of toilet paper and I fold it and I put cleaner on it and I wipe the seat and underneath and around the rim. And then I flush it and I'm done. And maybe sometimes I'll come up like the front of the toilet where it gets a little icky sometimes from little boys, possibly. And that's really it. So I may give the base of the toilet a wipe. So I'm going to change that hand towel in my bathroom. And maybe I've used that to wipe the counter. I may use that hand towel. Hope this doesn't gross you out. I may use that hand towel to wipe the floor and the base of the toilet. And then I throw that in the laundry and put a fresh towel out. So it's I don't even know if it takes me 5 minutes. It's like 2 minutes and I'm done cleaning my bathroom, literally. I'm just spot wiping the mirror and the counter and the sink really fast. I'm taking that toilet paper and cleaning the toilet, giving it a swish in the bowl with cleaner. And then I'm taking that hand towel that I've used and wiping up the rest of it, tossing it, and my bathroom's good to go. Okay, so that was number 5. So number 6, I'll look at my entryway. I've got a screen door, so I may look and wipe the fingerprints. I may not wipe the whole door. I will probably just wipe those fingerprints. I may give the porch a sweep if it needs it. I have to tell you, my husband's usually pretty good at doing this for me. He's pretty good at taking the leaf blower or stuff like that. Especially this time of year, I'm filming this and it's fall and there's just leaves everywhere. So he may do that. But usually I keep a broom by my front door. So I'll just tidy the glass. I'll just take my broom and sweep it. And that's pretty much it. So number 7, here's where I start to stretch a little. So prepare simple foods. I'm going to set my mop down here. Sorry. So prepare simple foods. Utilize plates and serving dishes you have on hand. Get really creative. You can have some fun with that. You don't need any cost to do that. And you know what? Paper plates are okay. It's okay. I love them for crowds. I'm so grateful somebody invented them. And then number 8, serve simple beverages. Simple. Pick, a couple things. Water is a great one always. Maybe you just have this time of year, I think of like coffee and tea and warm apple cider and water. In the summer, I love to have iced tea and lemonade and water. Those are some of my favorites. And I have been known to buy those instead of making them myself because that's in my book, that's okay. Number 9, this is my favorite. Tidy yourself up. Make sure you get to a point that you're tidy, okay? And number 10, make your home feel cozy. If you have dimmers on your lights, use them. If you're a candle person, light some candles, especially if you don't have people that are coming over that are sensitive to scents and stuff. Put on some sweet background classical music or some, instrumental worship music in the background. Use your essential oil diffuser if you do that. So all those steps take me less than an hour, with the kitchen being the longest task. So I'll usually start with the bathroom and then I'll go through the rest of the rooms with the feather duster, the window cleaner, and vacuum, and I'll usually end in the kitchen. And here's my other one. I do not start putting food or beverages out until I've gotten myself ready, because I can still be doing those things when guests arrive. And then here's the other thing. If you have extra hands to help, people love to help, so let them help. So some final thoughts here. Take time to pray before your guests arrive. We can get so busy in the doing that we forget the why we're doing what we're doing, all right? The focus needs to be on the relationships and the people and their needs. And the reminder in 1 Peter 4:10 is that all we have received is a gift from God, and it's not ours. We're to be faithful stewards of God's gifts. Everything we have, right? Our time, our home, our food is on loan from Jesus to be used for his purposes in furthering his kingdom and for the good of others. We need to practice our hospitality with the end in mind, the reminder that the Lord is preparing a place for us in heaven where we will feast with the King, seated at his table, and enjoy his presence forever. I love that reminder. So may we serve with the heart of Mary, finding joy in all things because of Jesus. And remember, Jesus is enough always, my friends. So thank you for your time today. I hope this was helpful for you. If you have some favorite things you like to do in getting ready for company, please share them with us in the comments. I love that. I'll put any links below in the video. And I also have some freebies at the blog to help you with things like menu planning and cleaning. So check out the link for the free library over at the blog below too. And I pray you have a very blessed week, my dear friend.